back to the channel, and today a quick review for this. This is Neuromancer by William Gibson. Now this is lauded as a real sci-fi classic, especially in the cyberpunk kind of subgenre. This particular copy is a B format paperback of about 300 pages. I believe actually the prose in this specific story comes in at 297. I did a rough work out of this. It came in kind of like 85 to 90,000 words. If you're a fast reader, I think you get this done in a few sittings. If you're like me and your time is limited and you are quite a slow reader, maybe 150, 160 words per minute, this is going to take you about a week. And I think it took me about 6 days. Now, it is a book that I thought would have inspired a lot of things within the cyberpunk and sci-fi genres, and to an extent that is true. What I was surprised about how derivative, in a sense, the book is of things that have already preceded it in the sci-fi genre. I wasn't quite expecting that. Now, the reader is thrust into quite an alien, quite a harsh world, and there's no hand-holding at all here. Gibson very much throws you in the deep end and makes you doggy paddle for your life at the start. It's a very cold, harsh, industrial feeling world. Even when it is not being described as such, that is the vibe of the book generally. It feels a lot like Blade Runner, but not Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick, but very much the movie. It came out a couple of years after the movie, so I don't know if it's had any inspiration there, but that is how it comes across. That is how the world feels to read. So yeah, it does feel a little derivative of that. It does feel like it's reaching for some Philip K. Dick as far as it's very obtuse, but not in necessarily its style. It feels very obtuse in its use of language, the way it translates the descriptions in the book, like of what you're seeing or hearing and experiencing. Again, you're not always in the physical realm, so to speak, but its use of language is heavy-handed and deliberately obtuse. That's the only way I can put it. It doesn't make for a great reading experience in that way, but it is very unique, and it gives the whole feel of the reading experience kind of texture and a sourness that I believe is quite deliberate. The characters are very exaggerated, they're very stylized, and very unlikable. And I'm pretty sure that's by design as well. This is it feels very 80s sci-fi. It feels like it wants to fight against conventions, writing conventions, against storytelling conventions. And it goes on to inspire a lot of very interesting cinema in sci-fi. I think this must have inspired quite a lot of what's in The Matrix, for example. So if you like that kind of world, The Matrix, this won't feel like that. This feels more Blade Runner, but the concepts from that are in here. And I say, if one piece of cinema is the most accurate to Neuromancer, I would say that would be the mid-90s Keanu Reeves movie Johnny Mnemonic, which captures the nihilistic, harsh, and very visceral feel of this novel. I wouldn't say that this is a necessarily enjoyable read. I would say it's a bumpy road. I think it lacks the flair, the writing flair of Philip K. Dick, even though it's what it's reaching for. It's more Heinlein, I think, in its approach, but it's not a bad book. It is actually quite compelling at times, and it is quite unique feeling at times, and I'd actually give it 4 out of 5 stars.